Okay, so a bit of a different video going on today, as you can see. I've been going through a lot of personal issues the past week and a half that have been completely exhausting. What I've really been dealing with before that, as far as YouTube is concerned, is a bunch of technical difficulties. So I just want to start by addressing this claim that you'll get from all these YouTubers that are telling you how to grow on YouTube and trying to be motivational and encouraging. And trying to be motivational and encouraging is great, but a lot of them will say, your equipment does not matter, just start. That is not true. And I'm sorry. I wish I could make a video and be like, you know what? Yes, start with whatever you've got. It's going to be great. You are not going to have a good experience if you don't have the right equipment for what you're trying to do. And on top of that, it's also going to be difficult if you are not good at troubleshooting technical difficulties, which I am not. I'm not saying don't get started. I'm not saying don't start with what you've got. I'm not saying don't press on if you start with certain equipment and realize you need to make a change. Do what you feel is right for your channel, but just be aware your equipment does matter and it does impact your experience, and it also impacts how much content you're able to actually put out effectively. Also, what equipment you need really depends on what type of content you're trying to make. But anyways, I'm just going to list the technical problems that I have had. I will save some of the personal stuff for the end if any of y'all still care. So part of this is to just kind of share my own experiences just for anyone else who has similar equipment or some type of similar setup. But also, I've tried troubleshooting with some of these issues I've had, and it did not work. So if anyone has any advice or something they did with this type of problem, please, 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 please leave a comment and let me know, because I'm losing my mind. So I have my notes over here, by the way. That's why I keep looking this way. So one of the first things I did to upgrade my equipment before I even started this channel, by the way, was to upgrade my microphone to a Samson Q2U. This is a USB mic, and pretty much every YouTuber I watched that talked about upgrading your equipment, upgrading your setup, talked about getting a USB mic so you can have external audio to improve your audio. The Samson Q2 mic is a great mic for its price range. I think I paid about $70 for mine. I was very, very happy with the results. I film in kind of the worst setup you could have for YouTube. Open space, blank walls and floors. Now, before I get to the actual issues I had with this mic, I just want to show you this real quick. So you can get these on Amazon. There's really a lot of different styles that you could use, but I have put these in certain spaces on both sets just to kind of help dampen the sound a little bit so it's not bouncing off quite as many hard walls. This has made a difference, I will say. But getting back to where I was at with the Samson Q2U. So I was super impressed with the quality. For $70, that's a great microphone. So if you are thinking about that mic, I would definitely recommend it. But I used it for, I want to say, only 2 videos, and I couldn't use it anymore. The message, let's see, I wrote down, stopped working after only using twice. Then computer said mic was not supported. Now, the only troubleshooting I did was I looked up a few tips online. One of them I think I was not quite sure how to do. The other said to just try different ports. And I tried all the ports on my computer, would not work. Could not get it to work again. Now, I did notice that the part that plugs into the microphone itself seemed to be a little bit twisted, and I couldn't twist it back. So I may just need a different wire. I may go back to that mic at some point. If I can get that situated, we'll see. Because I'm not 100% sure that's the problem. But anyways, I then went to the Movo MK700. This mic costs less than $25. It is about maybe 60% of the quality of the Samson Q2U, so it is a downgrade from what I initially invested in, but I couldn't spend another $70 replacing my Samson Q2U. I just couldn't do it. So given how little I spent on the mic, I'm actually pretty happy with the sound quality and with the quality of the mic itself. Like, it is full metal, the stand is high quality, it has a heavy feel to it. It is a quality microphone, it just doesn't give the same audio quality as a Samson Q2U. So let's move on to my old Moto G stylus. So I recently downgraded phones. I want to save money. I don't know if you've noticed, but since I want to save money, I was unhappy with my 2023 Moto G stylus. I still had my 2020 Moto G stylus. So I was like, you know what? That was one of the few times I upgraded a phone when I didn't really have to. I did it because I wanted to. So I was like, you know what? I still have that phone. Let me just switch the SIM card. And I will use my 2023 to film on. I figured downgrading my phone was a great way to save money. And then using the 2023 Moto G stylus to film on, wouldn't be taking up so much space on my daily use phone. So that was my plan. So I originally planned to use my previous 2023 phone for filming. Last time I tried to use the camera, it wouldn't even open. A message popped up saying that other apps were in use. I did look up some troubleshooting tips on this one. I didn't find anything that helped. So if you know how to get around that issue, that would be great. I could not use the phone to film at all. So then I went to my Moto G Stylus 2020. This is the phone I'm filming on now using the front-facing camera. I filmed 2 videos using the back camera on my phone. The videos were completely unusable because the camera was refocusing with every teeny tiny bit of movement. I was filming with the back camera. It was in that setting where I have the black and white tapestry with the lights on the back. I think the lighting may have played a part, potentially. I don't know. I'm guessing. I don't know why it was doing this, but it was refocusing every couple of seconds. But the thing is, if it happened a couple times in the video, I probably still would have had enough usable footage to actually get something that I would have been able to upload. The videos were completely unusable. I kind of talk with my hands a little bit. It was like every single time there was any movement on screen, even if I just moved my head a little bit, it would refocus. It would refocus. I don't know what the deal was. I did do some troubleshooting with this. I looked up some settings to change on my camera, and I did not find anything that fixed the problem. If it is a lighting issue, that's kind of weird because it's not even like a low light setting. Basically, I have all of the lights off in the house. I film at night. There's no sunlight coming in through the blinds. So I pretty much just have the light that is on me, and then I have the string lights on the tapestry behind me, and that's it. I'm just kind of painting a picture in case it has any relevancy to the matter. I don't know what the problem was. So yeah, couldn't film on my old phone, couldn't film on this phone. Now, I did think about filming front-facing. The back camera is typically a higher quality. This, to me, as I'm filming on my screen, looks okay. I'll be interested to see if it looks all right on YouTube. This will likely be what I use going forward. With my regular setup, I won't be holding it. This is kind of a spur-of-the-moment thing, guys, honestly. Okay, so next thing I tried, going back to my DJI Osmo Pocket. This is not one of the newer ones. I've had this one, I want to say, 4 years now. I've only used it a few times, mostly for concert footage, which I was really happy with. It handles that kind of setting very, very well. So it's a great little camera. I just haven't been using it for anything YouTube related. So I was like, all right, let me give this a shot. Here are the notes I made. I had no issues with filming, although I will need to delete some videos before I can record anything else. That's obviously a quick fix, since most of it is stuff I don't need to save anyways. I will sometimes have a problem with uploading to my computer. Sometimes the upload will abruptly stop and have to be restarted. So this problem is one I can technically push through if I have to. It's just extremely time consuming. I'm about a month and a half behind on my content for this YouTube channel because of all these technical difficulties that I've been having. So I'm really not interested in using anything that's going to make it a more time-consuming process for me to film, edit, and upload. So I'm not against continuing to use the DJI Osmo Pocket, but it's definitely not the easiest thing for me to use just because and it may have to do with the computers I'm using. It may not be the camera itself that's the problem. I don't know. So if anyone has had an issue with the upload just abruptly stopping and you having to restart it, please let me know. I also just want to note here about external audio. So when I started using external audio instead of the internal audio of whatever device I was using, that really made the editing process take about 5 times longer, which brings me to another issue. So I heard that there are some programs that will like automatically sync it for you. One of those programs, I don't remember what it's called, I had recommended by several YouTubers. So they were like, okay, download this software. One of the features they have, even on the free version, is that you can auto sync your audio to your video. And I was like, okay, that's perfect for what I'm trying to do. Downloaded it, couldn't even open it. I don't have a great computer system set up, which I'll get to in just a minute. But getting back to the DJI Osmo Pocket, I am thinking of getting the DJI lavalier mics. I think Having the audio be with my video is critical. I am so done with external audio. If I keep using a USB mic, I'm going to get an adapter so that I can plug it into the phone or whatever it is I'm using, because I am done. Okay, next device issue. HP all-in-one desktop. This is not a fancy desktop. This costs maybe $400. It is not designed to hold a crap ton of videos so that you were trying to stay ahead of the game with your filming and everything. It is just not designed for that. I wrote down this desktop does not have enough storage for what I am trying to do, which is to upload and edit several videos at once. It's just an extremely slow computer. It's really just not, and I can't be mad at the computer. I really probably should have saved up and gotten something better when I got this computer. This or the laptop, which I'll get to in a second. It's just not designed for what I'm trying to do. Yes, there are things like external hard drives. I am thinking of investing in those. I've just spent so much money on equipment. I don't want to spend any more money on equipment. So I'm really trying to find a way to make this work without having to invest any more money on editing software, on equipment, on anything. If I want to upgrade down the line when I actually have the money for it, great. I will do so happily, but right now it's not the best option for me. Next up is the HP laptop. This one was about $300. I don't have the exact specs here, but I wrote the laptop does not have enough storage either, but it is also very slow. It makes the editing process extremely time consuming. That being said, I like editing on the desktop better than I like editing on the laptop, but I did forget to mention with the DJI Osmo Pocket, I was able to upload to the laptop what I needed to. I could not even upload to the desktop. And at that point, I had cleared some storage space, so I'm not quite sure what that issue was. Next issue is my editing software. I use something called FilmForth. It's $11.99 for a yearly subscription. My subscription had run out. I paid for another year on March 23rd or 24th, somewhere around there. I still cannot access what I paid for. They did respond to my request. We're just kind of playing email tag at this point. I'm trying to figure out what the next best step is. So they may be able to resolve this for me. I don't know. If not, I would like my money back. And then I have to go find another editing software. And then around the same time, my OneDrive subscription was up and I had to take care of that. I took care of that the other day and it started working within a few hours. So OneDrive is good to go. Honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of OneDrive. I don't hate it, but I don't want to have to pay a subscription for this cloud storage. I would actually prefer to invest in external hard drives, but it seems more cost effective to just pay for this cloud storage than it is to buy a bunch of external hardware. And then lastly, I did promise to fill y'all in on some of the personal difficulties, so I got a second cat. I was going to discuss in a video before I even got her how I budgeted for it, how I planned for it, why I'm doing it, why I consider it worth it. I'm not going to get into all that, but basically I got her a little over a week and a half ago, or about a week and a half ago, from my local animal shelter. It's the same place I got Leah, and I was not aware of any health issues that she had. She turned out to be severely emaciated. She was basically starving to death. Long story short, it turned out that there were parasites eating up all her nutrients, and after a couple doses of medication, she was okay. But it took several vet visits and several tests and several this, that, and the other to figure out what was going on with her. So financially, that was a burden because I was not expecting to have to immediately spend like $550 or so in vet bills right off the bat. But it was also just emotionally exhausting seeing how badly she was doing, and that was just a real emotional strain on me. I was constantly worried for her. I was losing a lot of sleep. I was becoming delirious. I was so worried about this cat. She did not have the strength to walk for almost the first entire week that I had her. It was really heartbreaking to watch. So honestly, the past week and a half, while I have been desperate to get caught up on YouTube and everything I'm trying to do, YouTube has been like the last thing on my mind with all of that going on. So now that she's kind of squared away and I've figured out some of my equipment issues, I think I'm going to get back on track. I'm just going to go ahead and use my headset and the front camera on this phone for now. I would like a bit of a better setup than that. I don't like having to wear a headset. But there are worse setups. I think this is usable for what I want to do for now. If I can figure out some of these technical difficulties, I would prefer to use the DJI with one of the DJI lavalier mics so that I don't have to sync external audio and editing, and it can still sound good. So that's what I've been going through. That's what I've been dealing with. If you have any insight on any of these technical difficulties, I would love to hear your thoughts. Please leave a comment. As of filming this video, it is April 4th, 2025. I will try to get this video up within the couple of days. I still don't know what's going on with my editing software, and yeah, I might have to just download something else and start using that. I would also like to get back to uploading at least every single Wednesday, but honestly, it's probably going to be another week or two before that starts happening. So anyways, I will keep an eye on community posts and YouTube shorts. I will try to keep y'all posted that way.